Good morning and welcome to today's Transformed. We all have heard the story of Zacchaeus. We've all sang the song in Sunday school. We all know he was the short little guy that climbed up in the sycamore tree so he could get a view of this Jesus that was coming through. He's an interesting individual. Let me talk to you about his name for a moment. Zacchaeus means pure. Think about that. His mother gave him a name that was to represent purity. He was a man fashioned in his mother's womb to be pure. At birth, he was given a name that was to fashion his life. At birth, he was given a name with a destiny of purity. And then the Bible tells us he became a chief tax collector and that he was rich. In Jesus' time, the tax collectors were a class that was detested not only by the Jews, but also by other nations because of their occupation. They were hated because they were harsh, they were greedy, they were deceivers, and that's how they did their job. So get this. So this man who was born with a name that meant pure became a man of greed. The man born to be pure became a man of deception. His life occupation gave definition to his life identification. His life was now fashioned in the identity of a hated tax collector. His life's occupation made him someone that others hated. His life's occupation made him someone that made him an outcast. His life's occupation brought him reproach and shame. It's interesting. What he fashioned his life after defined his life. That's true in our life. What we fashion our life after will also define our life. So what does this man do? Jesus is coming through. He's heard about Jesus. He wanted to get a view of him. He wanted to see him. He had an interest in him. He climbs a tree. This is a tax collector. He's got position. He's got wealth. And he humbles himself and climbs a tree so he could see Jesus. You know what's funny? If you'll show an interest in Jesus, he'll show an interest in you. If you show a hunger for Jesus, he'll show a hunger for you. Jesus looks up and says, Zacchaeus. He said, come down out of that tree. I must stay at your house today. Imagine that. You know what the people are thinking. He's going to the house of this hated tax collector. See, Zacchaeus fashioned his life after the pursuit of wealth through greed, deception, and harshness. But all of a sudden, here he was having an encounter with the one who fashioned and formed him in his mother's womb. And it's amazing. One encounter with the one who fashioned him will end up refashioning him and cause Zacchaeus to refashion his life in the pattern of his creator. It's funny, when Jesus refashions your life, the things that you chased after, the things that you fashioned your life after, they don't mean as much as they used to. Remember what Zacchaeus did? Zacchaeus, when they said he'd come and he was there at the house of a tax collector, Zacchaeus stopped and said, Lord, he said, half of my possessions I'm giving to the poor. And if I've extorted or stolen anything from anyone, I'll give back 4 times as much. Think about that. He totally transformed what he chased after. His life was refashioned. His pursuit of money was no longer that thing that he chased after. One encounter with Jesus refashioned his life. Zacchaeus wasn't saved by what he did. What he did was proof that he was saved. Here was Jesus stepping into his life, the potter from Jeremiah 18. He's the one who came into his life and refashioned what had become marred. The potter refashioned the life of the woman caught in adultery. The potter, Jesus, refashioned the life of the woman in Samaria. The potter refashioned the life of Saul the Pharisee on the road to Damascus. You were fashioned with a divine purpose in the mind of God. Fact is, things happen. You may have become marred. You might have made mistakes. You might have chased after things and fashioned your life after things that he didn't fashion you for. But here's the good news. He'll refashion your life if you'll allow him, because we're never marred beyond his ability to refashion you. God told Jeremiah, go down to the potter's house and I'll give you a word. And when he went down, he saw the potter working at the wheel, making a vessel. The Bible says the vessel became marred in his hands. And so the potter created another vessel as seemed best to him. That is exactly what he can do with you and I if we'll allow him, the potter, to refashion our life. God bless you. Have a great day.